Hello and welcome back. We are here with Channel Divinity Power Word Play Session 13. Thank you all for joining us after our holiday hiatus. And with that, I will toss it over to Cinque to catch us up on what we may have missed. No? Don't shake your head at me.
Wonderful
that
start to the
plan.
stream. A little bit of mutiny.
I will take it away.
You can't panic me like that, my
And
dude.
you're never going to give it back, right?
What if
I
I
really
wasn't
want-
ready? You didn't tell me that I was doing it, Radley. All right.
I'm not gonna say I asked before this, but
So we meet our party resting at a camp, discussing the path ahead. Sirius is acting a bit out of character, acting a bit strange, being sort of like snapping at his friends. But everybody is patient because they all know what is happening, what is going to happen, and what Sirius is going through. Sirius does apologize later that night, and everybody settles down and has some nice conversations. During the travel the next day, Liz sees a woman running through the woods. Unable to find the woman after looking for a little bit, Liz describes what she saw, and Calesta recalls that she remembers learning healing from somebody that looked really similar. Very, very similar. Interesting. Later that night, the full moon rises, and everybody starts preparing for what is coming. Sirius begins to prep and takes all of his gear off, gives his bag of holding to Lance, other weapons to other people, just so that he doesn't hurt anybody. Wellen brews the tea that he got from Rudolphus, and once Sirius drinks the tea, we all bind his wrists, bind his ankles, and prepare for what's about to come. Unknowing to the rest of the party, Sirius wages internal war against a being known as the Alpha. Sirius fights off the Alpha's challenges, successfully passing each phase, rolling beautifully. And as the sun rises, Sirius turns back from a fully transformed werewolf into Sirius. And that's where we left off. I can't hear you anymore.
I sure was speaking with my mic off. We pick up now this morning with Sirius having sort of just come to, as the rest of you who were just waking up see that he's there of right mind and body, though with a level of exhaustion. You've made it through the night. What would you guys like to do?
Does everyone have exhaustion, or Sirius has a level of exhaustion?
Just Sirius has exhaustion because y'all took shifts rather than all of you staying.
Right.
Are my clothes fucked up?
Surprisingly, no.
Let's go!
Surprisingly not.
That's a win if I've ever heard it. Huh.
But Sirius, you sort of come to bound to this tree, tired, groggy, but here you are.
Good morning.
How are you feeling?
You know, we've all had that just turned into a werewolf sort of feeling, right?
Similar. I had similar feelings.
Should we untie his mouth so we can understand?
Yeah. He's like,
I mean, we ain't gotta.
Did we gag him, or we just put like tape? There's no tape here. I don't know what. Yeah.
I think we said we gagged him.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
Unwrap whatever.
I do believe you did.
Wrappings were around his mouth.
Jaws sore, but now you can speak freely.
Hello.
Hi.
How was everybody's night?
surprisingly calm.
Yeah, it could have been way worse, I suppose. How was yours?
I didn't try and hurt anybody. So outside of, the sort of internal trauma, it could have been worse.
I'm glad you're okay.
Can somebody? I can't. I would. Can somebody untie me?
Wellen came and took the wrappings off and walked
Just
away.
walked
My bad. I wasn't.
It's okay. It's not every
up.
day that you have to tie up your friend. It's fine. I understand.
And I'm sure I have a knife or something that I can just out with, or I guess the tip of my spear, my Ikawa, because I don't know that I have a knife. Just saw a part.
Picturing Wellen like 3 feet away at the end of the spear, just being like.
It's a small thing. It's like the thing's like this long. It's like a hand. It's kind of like a spear, but it's like a hand spear. If that makes sense.
It's very silly.
And also possible lockpicking tools.
Yeah.
Jury's still out on that one.
You were like, you were like struggling for a bit, and then you went all kind of loose and calm.
Yeah. Kind of sort of went through it last night. We don't have to really talk about it.
Oh yeah. My bad.
But I seem to be okay now. So hopefully they're all better than this.
Yeah. We don't have any herbs, so hopefully. Do we have more of those herbs? I don't know. We don't have more.
You ran out.
So
Drats.
hopefully you don't have to do too many more of these anyway.
Yep. I hope that I don't either. Wasn't fun. Wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, breakfast. Breakfast sounds lovely.
Mushroom smoothie. Wellen looks for the mushrooms that are at their campsite. Looks at them and starts to pick out some of the more edible ones.
Make a survival check.
Survival. I should know this.
You pick some mushrooms.
You want some eggs? I can climb a tree and get some eggs.
You could do that. That would be awesome.
Sounds better
Can we
than
see
a
you-
mushroom smoothie.
Don't we have those mushrooms that you picked the other day that you had already checked to see if they were good?
Yeah.
We didn't make those. I thought we made them that night.
I also thought that you guys had made them.
Oh,
yeah,
did
I think we roasted
I
them
could be
already.
wrong.
I could just do regular grass smoothies. It's fine.
Wellen thinks these mushrooms are fine. Like, you really are not super concerned.
Okay. I didn't roll very good on them though. So Wellen's gonna, I guess, go to the creek. Oh, the creek's down this thing from us. Use water from his pack and start making some mushroom smoothies.
Can I see if I can spot any eggs in a tree?
Sure, Lance. Make first a perception and then a nature check.
Okay. Oh,
And a
no.
nature check.
I'm a -1 on nature. I was never scared though. What's up?
Lance, you do know approximately where you should be looking for these eggs, but you don't really seem to see any. Like, some of these trees, you're like, yeah, birds should definitely be nesting here, but you don't see any eggs, unfortunately.
Lance is gonna climb one anyway. He's gonna be like, okay. I mean, I bet it's up here. Let's just see.
Yeah. So, how many trees do you climb looking for these, Lance?
Let's say just 2. If not one, then another.
Yeah, you climb 2 trees, and even with a 10, you don't really see anything up there, unfortunately.
He's gonna be up the tree and he'll be like, I can't find any eggs.
Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Sorry.
Don't hurt yourself.
We still have the mushroom smoothies.
You have mushrooms. You all also have access to rations if like people are not feeling the vibe of a mushroom smoothie.
I think
But-
I'm gonna just eat a ration.
If everybody else is having mushroom smoothies, Wellen, Lance, Liz, and Calesta, I would like all of you to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Let's go. Let's go.
Not a
I
saving
was-
throw.
I was not planning on having
I
one.
got a
That's why-
6.
Look, I'm already used to
That's-
it. I ain't got
It's
no
a
problem.
14 from Liz.
It's a nat 20.
I got a 6 to a 10.
10 and Calesta.
I don't know. I was joking when I said
Okay.
we still have mushroom smoothie.
Beautiful. All of you kind of drink this smoothie and you're like, maybe that was a little bit questionable, but all of you are feeling all right enough to travel and not need to stay back for a little while this morning. Lance, your stomach gets a little sour for like 15 minutes or so, but nothing
gets real bad.
unbearable. Nothing
Okay.
unbearable, certainly. Just kind of like, ooh.
All right.
So what are you guys doing?
Go ahead.
I mean, I think that, we should get back on the proverbial road, as it were.
Yeah, we still gotta find Apostos and the Earth Ashari, and how far out are we from where we suspect we'll be like in their range now? How many days?
About 2 days travel away from where you would expect to like have to start looking around for them.
Okay. So yeah, I guess we just gotta pack up and get back on the road.
All right.
Trying to see
If you guys are doing that, then I would ask somebody to please roll 1d20 at a private GM roll for the day.
1d20. I
got
can
it?
roll the first one. Yeah. Private GM.
That's good.
1d20. I hope I get a negative 12.
Roll a 0 on the die.
How are you guys passing the time traveling today?
Liz is gonna kind of like walk up to Sirius at one point and kind of be like, take his ring off of her necklace and kind of hand it back to him.
Oh, thank you. I had forgotten.
I figured you need it for,
The magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Sort of as you guys are walking and traveling along for the day, you see these like big thunderheads. These dark, huge clouds begin rolling over the Alabaster Sierras, sort of in the direction of the forest. Those of you who are proficient in survival or nature would definitely know that you're probably going to have some real heavy rains real soon.
It looks fine.
Well, we can keep moving through the rain. I can cast some wind around us that will kind of keep us not clean, but out of the everything for a little bit. It doesn't last that long. It only lasts 10 minutes, but never mind. Maybe we should
If
get
we
some
run
cover.
fast
Find somewhere to
enough,
hide in the-
we can dodge the rain.
I don't think that's how rain works, Lance. Liz
What do you
might be
mean?
fast enough. There's no chance of the rest of us.
Yeah.
Excuse you.
I read somewhere
Speak for
that
yourself.
like
Sorry.
running doesn't actually keep you from getting rained on any more than walking does. Because as you're moving, the rain is that's coming diagonally is still hitting you at the same rate as if you were walking. It would be. I don't think that running is a good idea. And I'm tired. So we could not run.
I'll carry you.
You don't have to do that.
I don't know about that. Science? That sounds really like I don't know about that, but you're the smartest man I know, so I'm gonna listen to that.
Oh no.
That's funny.
So what are you guys gonna do?
I think
guess
we're
we gotta keep
walking.
walking.
Yeah.
Are we gonna stay in the woods, or rather, do we need to look for shelter?
Probably not immediately.
I think if it gets too bad, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll see.
And sort of as you are traveling, get bad, it certainly does. The rain comes in torrential downpours of sheets. The cracking thunder overhead kind of makes you all jump as it gets louder and closer. And it's a good thing it is raining because there is a ton of lightning. And I would say that no, actually none of you guys get to roll for this, sorry. Never mind. But you guys all are soaked to the bone within minutes. It is it's very, very windy, very, very rainy. It's kind of to the point where your vision is like you can only see so far ahead of you. It's really, really wet.
Oh, some good rain. Okay.
Yeah, some of that good rain.
Weather.
It's a good rain.
Sorry,
I have
an
somewhere.
idea. I have
Oh,
So
okay.
shelter.
We can all get in the bag of holding. And Lance can just run with us.
Does Lance still have the bag of holding? He like puts his foot in it. It's like finally.
it's true. I never got my stuff back. I have my ring back because E is a nice person, and nobody else gave me my
Lance
stuff.
is evil.
You wanted to carry your weapons?
I mean, I think I should carry my own things. Yeah, you guys don't need to like carry me or my stuff.
Okay, well, we could sort that out when we're not in the rain.
Yeah, that's a later not soaking conversation.
Anybody got rope trick?
Is there a cave nearby? Can I like check landscapes around to see if there's like elevation where we might find like an outcropping or something to hide underneath?
That's a great question. Go ahead and make a perception or survival check.
They're the same for me, so I'm gonna do survival. This is 22.
22, you see there's a little bit of, you guys have been traveling sort of consistently uphill as you are moving through this, and you see like a hill up sort of to your east, off into the woods a little bit, that could most likely have a cave cistern. And I will say, as this thunder cracks, Lance, I think you in particular notice that like Liz is a little bit particularly jumpy every time the thunder goes off.
Lance is, I guess, while we're walking or while we're like, I'm assuming we're like shuffling faster because it's raining and we want to get out of the rain.
Yeah, I'll try to head people towards where there might be a cave as we move.
Lance is going to. I know he's probably holding other stuff, but he's gonna scurry over to Liz and like put out his hand and be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
I also hate the rain because I can't walk properly. It's like whenever I walk, I always like slip and fall. I think it's my boots, but like.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Do you want, maybe we can get some like she sort of like jumps again at another like crack of thunder. We could maybe find some like little like rocks and put them on your shoes so that you have some more traction, maybe.
might be right. That might work.
Like
But he's like,
ice climbing shoes, but rain walking boots.
he's like, yeah, we can think about it when we're out of the rain. But
Sort of the lightning like flashes across the sky and sort of reflects off the whites of Liz's eyes as she just sort of like
Liz panics and teleports.
Lance is sitting there like,
Oh, you only have so many of those, right?
He's got one.
Lance stops and kind of like turns around and like he's like, oh shit.
she's just gone.
Is
Oh shit.
I would say anybody who is helping to look for this cave, go ahead, give me a perception check with disadvantage. Because the rain is so hard and heavy, it's obscuring your vision.
I'm looking for
Disadvantage doesn't stack, right?
No.
Awesome.
wow. Oh, because you already
Because I have a level of exhaustion.
Oh,
What am I
no.
rolling? Perception?
Oh,
It's a
wow.
natural 1.
It's a 13 for Liz.
Wait, where did Liz go? Hold
That's
on.
a 4 for Sirius.
That's a 6 for Calesta.
That's crazy.
We rolled really, really well.
I wanted to ask, had we never like encountered storms, or maybe if we had, would Wellen know that Liz also like doesn't like lightning or thunder?
Yeah, I mean, I think that like Wellen would definitely be aware that like she gets jumpy and just sort of like nervous whenever there's like a big storm,
Okay.
particularly like a loud one. It seems to be that it's like the sound that is the thing that is like that she jumps or she like runs or panics and teleports 30 feet away.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, he's definitely like seen her do this before.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, Lance is just looking for Liz at this point. I don't know where everybody else is looking for the cave, and Lance is like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
I think I see her over there. She's like off in the distance, but like it's faded because it's so much rain around us. You can't see her.
Yeah, so you all kind of, Liz, I think you're the most successful in this because you are currently the most immediately motivated to get some sort of shelter. And the cave that you find is not very deep, and it's really not much of a cave at all, but there is just like a shallow outcropping of rock that you all would be able to sort of squeeze under and wait for this storm to pass.
Liz will just kind of immediately like scurry up to it and then like yell. Like, hey, it's this way.
I guess the teleporting helped.
Yeah, you barely, all of you kind of just hear that it is somebody yelling because the wind is blowing in your ears and blowing this rain sideways across your vision. It takes you all, especially with those perception checks, a little bit to find her, but eventually you all sort of do, and you are all like soaked to the bone, drenched here waiting.
How cold is it?
It is not particularly warm up here. I would say it's an early mid fall sort of range, so it's definitely, there's a bite to the air more than there would be for like, this is not a rainstorm that you can really go out and frolic in, but if you all manage to build a fire, you'd be able to warm up pretty all right.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and cast a create bonfire just kind of in our space. I don't know if I need to put the template down, but
I mean, you could just put it down if you want.
Assuming that Lance was still carrying the bag of holding, he's gonna go up to Liz and be like, "So I have an idea," and he's gonna like shuffle open the bag of holding, and he's like, "So I know it's like really loud and thundering, but I don't think it's thundering in here. So if you like put your head in it," and Lance is gonna put his head in the bag of holding, and then like, put like a bag on his head. Is like. He's like still talking on the inside, but like, like you can't hear him or anything. I'm assuming you can't breathe in the back of holding, so after a while,
It only has enough oxygen for one creature to survive up to 10 minutes in there.
Okay. So he's like talking, and then he pulls it off, and he's like, "Yeah, so."
Okay.
You want to try?
Okay.
And then he like hands her the bag of holding and just waits, like he just stands there smiling, like.
She'll put her head in the bag of holding.
It is blessedly silent in there. The silence sort of, it's not just like a quiet moment. It's like full dead, suppressingly silent. And it's dark and goes on infinitely. But there is no rain or thunder noise in there.
I think she's kind of like relaxed for a moment. And then she takes it off. She's like, that was worse.
Oh.
I think I'll be all right. That plus I don't think the Sirius really wanted us in his bag. So
You just hear like from the other side of the cave, it's fine.
By the other side of the cave, like really 4.5 feet away.
He's like right there.
Yeah.
Literally just like leaning against the cave wall, just like
While this whole thing was going on, Calesta's kind of like halfway side-eyeing the two, putting this bag like over their heads, halfway like side-eyeing Sirius. And I was going to say this earlier, but she was kind of doing that like while we were walking too before it started raining.
Kind of getting a little bit of... It's kind of hard to not notice it with all of you guys sort of so close, but Calesta's kind of like keeping an eye on them, kind of every once in a while her eyes dart over to you, Sirius. But anything else? As you guys are sort of trapped here for... It ends up being like a solid 2.5 hours.
I would like to lovingly retrieve my personal belongings from my friends.
Easily enough, pending they're all willing to give them back.
Yeah. Lance will probably take off his armor and like let his clothes dry because it's soaking wet. At least his armor and like his shirt and cloak or something.
Mm-hmm. Easily enough. Otherwise, a couple of hours later, the rain comes to a halt almost just as quickly as it started. And the clouds have passed, and you may continue on with your journey.
Really got light real quick. Like there was a wall of rain and then it was just gone.
I don't know how storms work.
Thankfully, and Calesta has been kind of like not like balled up, but like knees to her chest, like while they were doing it because it was so shallow, and so she's just kind of like lay out a little bit to stretch as the storm like kind of pulled out. Still fully muddy, but stretched out.
All right.
Well, that was fun. Is the sky? So is the rain is like it fully passes? Like it's not like it's gonna lighten up and come back again.
Turn around.
It doesn't, like, there's definitely some clouds on the horizon, but those definitely look to be the big thunderheads. There might be rain in your guys' future sort of in the next few hours, maybe into tonight, but certainly nothing as crazy as that.
Well, everybody, hope you packed your rain boots.
You guys have rain boots, like ready, like boots.
No,
That's probably why I'm falling all the time. You know,
these are
like,
all the clothes that I have. I'm wearing them right now.
Me too.
Anyway, let's.
Well, it's just
get
someone
back
trying to get
the
on a
road.
cheap airline.
I brought nothing with me.
About to say, wearing cargo pants with like bulky ass pockets and a
4
singular
jackets.
backpack.
Could I be wearing any more clothes?
Let's hit the road, I guess.
As you all continue forward, sort of sloshing your way through the muck in the puddles that have accumulated, you don't see, there's not a lot of travelers out headed to or from Whitestone, but eventually it is time for you all to make camp as you make your way back on this lovely
It's
evening.
waning again.
It is some light rain, yes.
Camp. Childish
Uh,
Bambino.
If there's anything you guys would like to do on this evening of camp, you're welcome to it. I would also like somebody to roll another d20 for me, please.
I'll do it. Private GM. D20. Roll.
So Wellen,
Yeah?
I'm so mad.
where do you think the rain comes from?
Oh, I mean, I know that much. I don't know how storms like work, but I know where the rain it comes from. Like all the water. The water goes up into the sky, and then it falls back down.
With magic?
No, it's in the air. It's like you know how water dries.
Water can dry?
You know this.
Can
You
you
know
still,
this
like-
part.
No, he's like, can you still, like? Oh, you mean like?
Like if your
the-
clothes
like-
get wet, eventually they just dry up if you leave them in the sun.
Oh, so the water like, what's the
It-
word? Eviscerates.
It evaporates.
Right,
Yeah.
excuse me. Yes.
So it eventually enough water is in the air that it collects, and I guess it ends up in the sky somehow, and then it falls back down because it's cold up in the sky. And it goes from the vapor back to water, and then it falls. That's what clouds are. They're kind of like the in between stage.
Oh. Did you like go into the sky to like learn that?
No, I didn't go into the sky. The Ashari people have had a long, documentation of interactions with nature. Some of it's divinely,
That's pretty cool.
attained knowledge. Some of it is just science stuff.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I
Go ahead.
No, I didn't have much to say. I was just like, water like dries though, right? Like like heat gets rid of water. Like that's the
Yeah, I know water dries, but I thought you were saying like the water got dry, but the water was still there. So it was like, dry water. Like
no, yeah, I understand. That doesn't happen. I don't think it
That's-
happens. Maybe it does.
I've never seen it. I don't. That's really weird. Maybe we can hopefully find some dry water.
I guess that's kind of what ice is. I don't know.
Huh.
Is there anything that anybody would like to do sort of this evening as the sun sets to rescue us
Talk about nothing.
from the inevitable is water wet conversation?
We should probably figure out what watches look like this lovely evening.
If there are specific watches that you guys would like to take and play out, certainly.
Sirius is gonna sort of walk over to Liz. Hey there. I was wondering if if you're not doing anything this evening, if
Yeah, you trying to ask me to promise?
if would you mind taking a watch with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind. Yes, no.
I'm getting mixed signals here.
No, I wouldn't mind. Yes, I will take the watch.
Okay.
Can I take a watch with Fox and Marsh?
Not their owners, just the fucking pets.
I actually don't think I can let Marsh out for that long. But if you want to just try and hang with him for the end part or after my watch, you can hang with him for a little bit.
Fox gets cranky if he doesn't sleep by 11.
Go to sleep, Fox. Go to sleep. I don't care whatever watch Lance goes on.
Well, in Calesta?
Guess we're together.
Yeah, I'll take Calesta, you and I can take watch, and I'll leave Marsh out for Lance to play with. in the last
To
one.
burn himself.
All right. Let's start us off with the first watch then. For Sirius and Lance.
After like a couple of minutes of just sort of content silence, Sirius is gonna be like, I have a couple of questions, if that's okay.
If it's about the water, you got to ask Wellen.
Absolutely not. Nope. That conversation confused me. I don't know what dry water even is.
It's
Those
kind
are-
of like what ice is. I wrote it down.
Well, all right. One of the questions is dumb. I'll skip it. So were you good during the like rainstorm? You seemed a little. You teleported.
I can do that.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen it a couple of times. Was there a reason why was something like gonna hit you or something? Were you okay?
Well, that's why I teleported, is so that if you move quick enough, it can't.
Gotcha. So okay. Well, fair enough. Storms also sort of stressed me out. So I was wondering if it was the same reason. Don't worry about it. Second question. I don't know how to ask this in a way that doesn't seem really weird and abrupt. But you talk about your mom all the time. What's she like?
Mama?
Mhm.
Well, like, what does she look like, or
I mean, if you want to include that, I'm not, you don't have to. I was more thinking like in relation to you, like how does she act, you know?
I mean, she's my mama, so
Right. That was dumb. I'm sorry.
no, I mean, I'm not. I mean, you know what mamas act like.
I suppose technically, like I also have a mother. It's just that you speak so highly of yours, and from what I can tell, it seems that like she cares about you no matter what.
Yeah.
I was just, what's that like?
Well, I reckon for a long, long time, me and Mama sort of only had each other, and things wasn't always easy, but you find ways to make life good. That's what Mama does. And so I guess it's, what's it like? Every time I come home, she makes sure that she's baked my favorite honey flame bread, and it's ready for me. Well, as soon as it can be. Sometimes I eat it too quick and I burn my mouth, and she tells me that that's silly of me, but I ain't never been good at waiting. And she writes me letters, and she tries to look out for me. It's kind of hard to do when I'm real far away like this, but I guess it's just kind of like knowing that you always got a place to go. You always got someone to go back to. Do you not? I mean, I had just assumed that you're you know?
my parents are a lot of things. Very important people, very powerful, very influential. But just very busy. So I was always sort of not like told, but there was always sort of an implication that if you're not going to be perfect, you shouldn't be. So I wanted to know what it's like to have, at least one parent that cares about you even when you get, let's say, for example, hypothetically speaking, not that any of us would ever, let's say that you get bit by a werewolf and you contract lycanthropy, hypothetically speaking, that you could still go home and still expect the same desserts waiting for you.
Well, I reckon I've been a lot of things in my couple of years, but I ain't never been perfect. I don't think most penny people are. That seems kind of a lot to expect of somebody. And I'm real sorry if your parents made you feel like you had to be perfect to be good enough for them. And I don't know your parents and all that, but if you do get home and they've got anything negative to say about what you done been through these past couple of weeks, well, you can find family that's not your blood. Like Wellen. Or Lance or Calesta or me. You can meet Mama. She might make you some bread.
I'll have to remember to wait before I bite into it. That's very sweet. Thank you. Okay, I'll get back to the stupid question, because it's sort of been, clanging around in my head for a little bit now. So you introduced yourself as Elizabeth Ryman, and then I remember I think I called you Elizabeth, and you corrected me because obviously that's not your name. Does the E stand for something?
To some people.
What does it stand for to them? If it's okay, if you don't mind me asking. I understand that might be a super personal question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. Just figured I would ask, instead of trying to come up with a list of names. The last time I came up with a list of names, Calesta yelled at me, so.
Well, you did call her contentious.
It was on short notice. I had to think of something.
Or no, you called her. Was I contentious?
Let's
Was you
move
contentious?
On.
I don't remember. That's kind of funny though.
Yeah.
We should maybe think about if the next time that we're gonna lie about our names, we should have something prepared. Al used to do that.
Who?
Al?
Yeah,
the captain.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'd never heard his name before.
I'm pretty sure Wellen and I mentioned it, but yeah, his name's Al.
Captain Al? Is it just Al?
No, that'd be a terrible name for a captain.
That sounded like
How's it feel, Zoe?
What do you mean? His name is not
the
just Al.
captain's name? My captain's name? His name is
My captain's name. I super know it for sure.
Oh,
Alvaroso is his name. Yeah. It's like a whole, usually when he says it, it's like a whole like, hello, my name is Captain Alvaroso Delgado. And it's like very, and people are like,
I get that. For some reason, saying like your full name seems much more formal than just part of it,
Yeah. It's, you got to introduce yourself differently based off of the vibes.
Yeah.
All right. With this quick pivot, delicate pivot from Sirius away from the nicknames, can I get both or one of you to roll perception checks, please?
What is Liz's perception? Because mine is a +0.
I have a +2.
So go ahead and roll with advantage then.
Okay. That's a 14.
The 14, yeah, kind of as you are two sort of chatting away through the night, it seems pretty clear kind of as you have taken shelter under these thick, sort of heavy pine trees. It seems that so has the rest of the forest. It's a pretty quiet evening so far. And it's time to wake up the next folks for watch.
Are Wellen and Calesta next?
Yeah.
Okay. I will go. I'll go wake up Calesta.
Okay. Liz will kind of go and get Wellen.
So what I want to do is, like when I go into Calesta's tent, I actually want to cast light.
On what?
I'll do it. Like on my coat.
Okay. Calesta, sort of the back of your eyelids burns.
I don't know why I had everybody do saving throws.
Saving throws.
That's weird.
But the light, Calesta burns the back of your eyelids as you are.
She like
awoken.
jolts awake. Her eyes like go forward, and then she immediately like closes them. Like what?
I'm gonna immediately dispel it as soon as I see your eyes open. Hi.
Is that a side effect of the lycanthropy?
No. I just didn't. I didn't want to touch you. I felt like it was a little weird to be like, and you might hit me. So I figured this was a non.
So becoming a firefly was your other option.
It was the first one that I thought of. Yes.
Interesting. We'll work on your tactics.
Okay, maybe next time. Yeah, if you could let me know what the best way to wake you up is next time, I would appreciate that.
Burning is not on my list.
It wasn't fire. It was light.
Fire is light.
Yes, but not all light is fire.
Wellen from outside the tent is like, yeah, he's kind of right.
That doesn't help my eyes.
That's fair. I should have thought a little more before I did it. Anyway, have a good night.
Good night. Well, I guess it's good to know the lycanthropy thing doesn't last throughout the whole full moon.
Well, that's true. I don't feel like I'm gonna go through that anytime soon.
All right. Well, the spots are out of my eyes now, so good night.
Hello. Is it still raining on us?
It's sprinkling, but at this point it's sort of petering off as you guys just watch. It takes place sort of in the middle of the night here.
Okay. Wellen is just gonna like mess with his braid, with his little braid. He's gonna kind of like undo parts of it and redo it a little bit as he just like sits and does watch with Calesta. So, Sirius seems like he's all right.
In the head?
I mean, yeah, in general. um, yeah. Does something seem wrong with him to you?
Yes, but it doesn't seem anyone else agrees. So
I mean, he's like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's something that he did to offend you, but like he talks a lot, but he like means very well, and he's a pretty smart guy. You can tell for sure. He knows a lot.
he does and he doesn't.
What do you mean?
Well, he's definitely got the whole noble air, and you can see how that goes just in his interactions with people. And so it makes me question how he sees the world, especially as we were dealing with like Dirk and Merrick and them.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really know what you mean. Like where I grew up, we didn't have nobles. Um, my kind of time in larger society has been not super long. I don't know. I don't know how they do things out here. So I'm not sure. I don't have all those kind of biases. I don't have the understanding you're talking about. What's wrong with me and Noble?
Nobles tend to not really care what happens to other people. They often look out for themselves, and that comes to the detriment of people who are not at the same status. And so it's a bit questionable at times. And so rather just keep an eye.
I yeah, I guess I see what you mean there. Um, I guess from what you just explained, it doesn't seem like Sirius really fits that mold. I mean, the whole reason we're all moving together between him and Liz is because they wanted to help people who they really didn't have any other reason to care about, you know?
Not necessarily. I've seen lots of nobles who take on the guise of wanting to help or make change. And it
Hmm.
doesn't always go the way that they say or that you would expect from someone who wants to make positive change.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, that's fair. I understand why you feel like it's possible it could be disingenuous, but I I don't feel like it is. And you know, sometimes even people who have pretty honest intentions can lead to a path where things don't necessarily get better either. It's hard to judge, you know.
I agree. I think that it is safer to be more cautious. I guess that's a good way to say it.
Yeah. I mean, caution definitely is necessary out here, especially I'm sure you've been traveling by yourself before we all met, so you've had to be cautious. I'm positive. But do
Yeah,
you? It just kind of got me thinking. Like, do you? What are you out here for? Do you know what you're looking for?
not specifically. More so, looking for proof.
Proof of like a crime?
No, not really a crime. More so proof to continue faith.
Oh no. I'm laughing, but only not because it's funny to me, just because I kind of get where you're coming from. Not, yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from. Just a lot of questions floating around about things.
Yeah,
Like
definitely lots of questions, and a lot of them posed because people who said they had intentions about one thing did not.
like somebody close to you, or like the god you serve.
A mixture.
That certainly sounds deep, intense.
Well, I mean, I don't think that any of us would be out here in the middle of the woods if it wasn't for something driving us likely more into some people more intense than others.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know what they're laughing at. They're cracking up. Uh, yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Wellen just kind of like stares off. That response obviously was not to anything you really had just said. He's kind of been in his head this whole conversation, like still trying to be with you, but staring at the fire the whole time.
Did that make you think of something?
I mean, I the way that my brain works, I tend to like, when you're having a conversation, you think about what somebody's saying and you go, that thing that they believe to be true. Like, I wonder if that's true for me as well. And you kind of think about your life and like, does it apply? And I was just doing some reflection. So, like, a lot of the things you said kind of rang true to me to an extent, or at least have me questioning, you know,
Anything in particular?
just the, like, you talk about nobility, about people who have positions of status or something, and how they may misuse or not use it correctly. Just thinking about stuff. I I don't know that I want to get too deep into it right now. But I'll probably have to tell you more later, honestly. It's just that I don't there's a lot that I haven't spoken about, and
Need some
especially
time to process?
less time to process and more I just, no offense to you, but I feel like if I'm going to divulge any information, I feel like Liz deserves to know it first.
Yeah, your best friend. Makes sense.
Um especially since we've been traveling for a long time together, and you don't always tell everything about yourself to another person, but it might matter in the near future as we're getting closer to these other people.
Ah, so it has something to do with the Ashari then.
It has something to do with why I'm not at home. Yeah.
I can understand not wanting to talk about why you're not at home.
But I'm sure you'll figure it out, and it's nothing bad, really, nothing bad. I don't think. I guess it
I hope
depends on
not.
maybe it depends on how you may see it. I don't know, but I'm not a bad guy. I didn't do anything wrong. I just
If it's
there's a
not
lot.
something that you think will put everyone at danger, then
Not
should
right
be fine.
now. Yeah.
Not right now.
No, definitely not right now. I mean, anyone's past can haunt them, but I don't think there's any reason for that to happen to us because of me right now.
Okay.
Sorry if that made you more suspicious of me. I probably shouldn't have said all that before not telling you anything. He kind of just starts like twiddling his braids like more aggressively. Like,
I mean, yes, but if you don't want to talk about it, I won't pry. I will admit I am curious. I'm curious about a lot of things, so I can wait.
yeah. And like I said, there will be a whole conversation. It'll come out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I said, I want to talk to Liz first.
I'll be all ears when you do.
Thank you.
Calesta said, I will be listening. Can I have both of you or one of you with advantage make perception checks, please?
I think your perception's higher than mine. I have
I have
a
a-
2.
I have a plus city, so I can do it with advantage.
Bet.
It's a 16.
Bunch of power gamers. With a 16, the night is indeed quiet. As sort of the rain peters off and begins to sort of drip off of the trees more than out of the sky. It's time to wake up Lance.
I summon Marsh. I guess I use a summon wild shape or wild fire spirit. Bring him out.
I guess I can wake up Lance.
Okay, I'll just feed Marsh real quick, and I like push some twigs from the fire out of the fire
like-
pit in Marsh to let Marsh eat them.
Continue to catch fire even more as he does so.
Calesta pulls Fox out of her hood where he is taking residence and kind of shakes him a little bit so that he's like slightly awake, and then like gets down on her knees next to Lance's tent and just kind of like places Fox on his chest.
Fox just kind of freezes. He got, like, you know when cats, like, you wake a cat up and they're real squinty?
They're real angry, yeah.
Like this. Fox is just kind of like, what's happening? Lance, you're sort of awoken with this very, very light weight on your chest.
Lance looks up and probably sees Fox real confused. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, little guy. So I'm just petting him. It's like, you can go back to sleep.
It's time for your watch.
It's like, oh, snap. All right. Lance doesn't say, oh, snap. He's like, okay.
Oh, snap.
Kind of cradles Fox and gets up and walks out.
Kind of looks over at you, Calesta, just sort of in the pseudo dragon weight, projecting like, is this fine? I'm gonna go
What
with
is
him,
happening
I
right
guess. But as you sort of go out, and Calesta and Wellen, you both go back to sleep. Marsh just sort of, per your command, Wellen, is just sort of standing there.
He's like, I guess first Lance will probably squat down next to Marsh and be like, hey, I know you're probably gonna burn me.
Just absolutely no response.
And he'll probably like do like he does before, put on his like palm and like see how they react.
If you're going to try to actively pet, make an animal handling check. But
Guess we can.
Marsh is just sort of like presuming Wellen was like, don't hurt anything. He's just sort of chilling.
Yeah, I told him to play nice. Lance is gonna do anything to him. Don't burn him.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't actively try to burn you, but he is a boar made out of fire.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's not
of
a
course.
pleasant experience for you, Lance.
Lance figures that's what was gonna happen. He was like, "Gotcha, okay." Then kind of sits there, letting Fox go back to sleep. And
Sort of after a couple of minutes, Marshall actually like cuddle up to the fire, like almost like halfway in it,
and
and just sort of lay down, enjoying being able to actually stretch his legs.
Lance will kind of just sit there, not trying to disturb the animals, the pets, and just kind of just think about everything that's happened and how he's gotten to this point. And just kind of stare off into the distance, not really do anything different.
All right, Lance, can I get a perception check, please?
Yep.
After about, I believe, an hour, Aison?
Yeah. So
Marsh
yeah.
kind of turns back into his little flame. Goes back to Wellen stuff. With the 16, again, as the sun rises over the treetops, sort of almost, but not quite, rainbow in the sky as a bright morning comes to. You all sort of wake up and walk out of your tents to see Lance in sort of the, like, a cat has chosen to lay on me position and I simply cannot move. And that's where we are going to take our break for the night. We will see you guys in just a few moments.
Can I find the break screen? I wasn't ready for it.
Hello and welcome back. Aison, you always do like the iCarly, like 3, 2, silence, and I'm like, is 1 now? Okay, sure.
Yeah, because you don't want to pick it up. It's professionalism.
You know us, guys.
We're
Consummate
professional here.
professionals. We come to in the early morning as you all are waking up. Some more pleased than others about the early hour by which the sun has driven you all to consciousness. But here you all are, about a day's travel. Well, and you know, probably sometime this evening or afternoon, you guys should begin looking for this camp.
Okay. Is there like? So I have locate object and what is it? Let me see. Yeah, it's just locate object. I'm wondering if there's like something that I know, like maybe some kind of pendant or charm, that's something that I could try to locate to like give me a radius around me of like, are there people near me? Something that would be associated with the Earth Ashari, I guess, if that makes sense.
I believe with locate object, it has to be something you are familiar with. And
Yeah.
since Wellen has never been to Terra or any other Earth Ashari sort of people in that way, I don't know that would necessarily work for him.
Okay. That's fine then. I guess as we're packing up and we're getting ready to go, I'll kind of turn to Sirius and be like, well, whichever of these groups we find first, we're gonna make our way to Apostos, and hopefully he can, cure my slate fever at the very least, and maybe he'll have something for lycanthropy as well. But if he doesn't, then I pull out the little periapsa that I have around my neck. If it doesn't work, at the very least, this should hopefully suppress your lycanthropy symptoms. I just won't need it when the disease is gone. So hopefully we find him first, because I think that would be much better for all of our peace of mind.
Yeah. Let's get you taken care of first, though.
Whoever we find first, I guess, is what we'll deal with. 'Cause I don't know. I have no idea where this guy is really. I told me it was up somewhere. I had a general description of like the area. Like I know it's parched with timberlands. Wasn't it up like by something, like by some feature of water that I was?
Yeah, there's a river that you guys have been sort of tracking along as you've been traveling.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point at which, and I will go back to the map here so that we all can see it. Up in the Parchwood Timberland, sort of where it diverges, the road sort of continues straight onto Whitestone, and you guys are going to take basically a hard right through the woods today.
Mm-hmm.
And once you kind of come back along to that river, is where this should be.
Okay. So we'll head off the road, find the river, and travel along it. And ideally, in one direction should lead us to somebody.
Beautiful.
Let's go, guys. He tries to perk up, giving he's kind of dead behind his eyes look, but let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let us
Can I get somebody to roll a d20 for me, please?
I think Zoe volunteered.
I think Zoe did.
I heard it. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything anybody would like to do as you are traveling this morning?
While we're walking, I do want to kind of go up. I don't know if Liz is ahead. Maybe I'll go up to her, or I'll fall back to Liz if I'm ahead. Just kind of tug on her arm, her shirt arm. Hey.
Hi.
You the storm was pretty rough yesterday. Are you doing okay? Feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm better now.
We should have found a way to get out of it earlier. I guess we pushed on a little too hard. I just really want to find this guy. I'm tired of waking up with aches and stuff,
I know.
I kind of you can see him kind of struggle, like going back and forth within himself. He's like looking back and forth on the ground, like tracing like the options of what he's about to say right now.
Liz is just gonna kind of reach down and like get his hand, just hold his hand a little bit.
Hi. Sorry. I guess this is the only reason. It's hard for me to say this now because I feel like we've been hanging out and we've known each other for so long. I honestly didn't know or think that this was ever gonna matter while we were traveling together, but I haven't been like fully, forthcoming. I haven't talked a lot about why I'm out here, why we're gone, or anything like that. It may become relevant in this whenever we find these Ashari people, but essentially, how do I say this? I'm no one important yet, but I'm out on a journey because I'm supposed to become someone very important, and I've kind of been running away from it for a very long time. I've been living in the woods by myself because I don't want to. I'm really scared of what's going to happen if I do choose to complete my journey and take on those responsibilities. Back home, our leader is a man named Sirius, and he a long time ago kind of slated me to pick up his reins of being kind of the headmaster of our druid circle and I guess they call it the flame speaker, the leader, the fire Ashari. And I'm supposed to go on this big journey and go across the world and see all the Ashari and learn from all of their leaders. But I've been very much putting it off. I'm telling you now just because we're gonna run into some more people, and I don't know why they're in these woods, why they're attacking random lichen tribes. But I know that it may fall back on them soon, and if I ever have to bust out some weird mumbo jumbo, I didn't want you to feel like I was hiding stuff from you,
Well, just two little things real quick. I don't think you got to do anything else to be important. You're important, at least to me, for what it's worth.
Thank you.
And you're not alone. I know must have been hard being out there by yourself, but you've got us now.
Yeah, I haven't, I'm still kind of dodging the whole pilgrimage. I don't know if I want to drag you all along with me. It may not be, where Sirius and Lance are trying to head. And I don't know if Calesta will find what she's seeking following me. But I'm glad to have you guys wherever I do.
Yeah. I mean, wherever you got to go. If they want to come, that'd be cool. And they got other things they got to do. I mean, I think you of all people understand that.
Yeah. I'm still not even sure if I want to do it myself. And he kind of looks to the ground and he's like, those dreams that I've been having, I think they're connected to me doing my Aramente.
Your arrow, what now?
Sorry, that's the name. That's the name of the pilgrimage where the future leader of any Ashari tribe has to go talk to all the other leaders and learn from them and get their approval and everything. I don't know if it's an approval thing or just like an understanding thing.
Oh.
But I think it's connected to that. I think there's a whole series of trials, and the first time that I did it, when I met Marsh, when I got Marsh out of the, Rift of Fire, I started having dreams, and the ones that, have me waking up in sweats at night. And I'm really scared of what happens if I finish this journey. I'm just going to let you know. So hopefully I don't have to do it. I really don't want to.
Well,
But
I think if it's what you want, then we'll do it. But if it's not, well, I reckon we've gotten pretty good at running, don't you think?
yeah, you and me for sure. I think so.
I'm real fast. And it might be good. I mean, you meet Apostas and you get rid of your fever, and then maybe you meet these Asharis and get rid of your nightmares. I mean, that could be kind of nice.
Yeah, if getting rid of the nightmares is the end of all of this, or what happens after all of this, that would be amazing. But I think they are. I don't know. I heard these voices that told me they were connected, that there was something going on, that the other future leaders were all headed towards some path that's very not good. At least my dreams tell me so.
I'm sorry, it's scary.
Thank you for being here with me for it.
I don't know if you noticed, but you might be just a little bit stuck with me.
Wouldn't rather have anybody else by my side. And honestly, you see him like unhunch a little bit. He's like, it honestly does feel like a big weight off my chest to, be able to talk about that with somebody, just because, I don't know, part of me felt like I kept it a secret. It would keep me from like having to think about it as much. But after we heard what we heard about, the werewolves heading to Terra, I feel like that things may not go that way for me.
We'll figure it out. We always do.
Yeah, we always do. As I guess we're just continue walking, keep it going.
Great. You all pass the day fairly uneventfully as you continue onward. It's a bit odd walking through the woods off of the road here, as you guys have sort of had to move for this day, but you do begin moving towards the sound of rushing river that continues to get louder as the day goes on. And eventually you come to a riverbank. This one is not so high as some of the other ones that you've been camping alongside. It's more at the level of the forest. And as you all are sort of walking and begin looking, is there a specific way or anything in particular you guys are doing to search out this camp?
I guess like looking for like things like smokestacks. Not smokestacks, but smoke trails from fires. That's the easy thing to think of for like long distance stuff.
Lance is just yelling.
Well, Lance, you climbed a
Great.
tree the other day to get the eggs. Maybe if you climb another tree, you can see.
You're right.
That's
And
true.
Lance just scales the tallest, closest tree he finds.
Yeah, you get up above the tree line here. You do see that this river continues forward for quite a while. Make a perception check. Natural 20. All right, Lance, you see sort of up ahead, there's a space that it's a little bit funny. You see kind of being a bit familiar moving out in the woods occasionally with the arms. You would follow these rivers, and it's kind of made for easier travel for your larger groups, but You see a space where it almost looks as though the river is going to widen. Like it does briefly, and then it sort of almost cuts off and goes to be thin again. That doesn't look quite natural. It's maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles away.
You spotted that with your eyes?
I can see. While he's in the trees and be like,
Are there
Wellen.
any eggs?
Oh, does he see any eggs?
Yeah, about 3 trees over, there's a nest. It's got some eggs
All
in
right.
it.
So, like, how far apart are these trees?
Oh God, no!
You can make an acrobatics check if you try to jump between them. You're maybe about 50 feet off the ground right now.
If I fall, will I die?
I don't know.
No!
Do I?
Whoa!
That's a natural one.
The
Yup.
dice gods giveth,
And they take it away.
Alrighty, Lance, make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
Oh no!
What'd you get?
I couldn't get a 7.
So you all watch as Lance goes to make this jump, and you hear a thunderous crack as the branch falls out from underneath him, and he slams into like a bunch of thick tree
Every
branches
single
on his way
branch.
down. Before you get a chance to react, Sirius, Lance, you take 3d6. You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage
Oh my gosh.
as you smack
not as bad
into
as I
these
thought.
branches. I will say you are. If there's a split second, anything anybody can do as you notice this.
I wanted to
Otherwise,
cast levitate on him as I heard the crack.
so you didn't quite, because levitate is not a reaction spell.
Yeah.
I think you're not going to be able to get it off in time for him to hit the ground.
That's
unfortunately.
fine. Then I will just
Hey, go ahead, cut it
fucking,
for me. Aison, I know you got it, right?
I'll just
Huh?
fucking heal him.
I don't
I'm gonna-
have Featherfall.
I'm just gonna run over to him and cast a fucking.
Lance, as you hit the ground, you take an additional 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you smack on your
wait.
back.
Oh.
Wait, could Sirius have prevented the ground with levitate?
No, this all
Oh.
happened in the instance.
Okay.
So he took 15 on the way down and then 8 by
15?
hitting the ground?
Yes.
Jesus. Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to cast a second level. I'm going to run over to him and cast a second level Cure Wounds because my poor boy.
Lance, you're like flat on your back, the wind knocked out of your lungs.
Oh, it's a pretty little spell.
Yeah, that's
Hey, buddy.
Oh my god.
You okay? Why did you
Does not say-
jump?
yeah. Calesta also like walks over and like looks over and is like, "Why would you do that?
Like,
I thought it looked very cool.
He's too big to do that."
I mean,
Size is not everything.
that's true. I think he could have made it. You know, maybe next time just let somebody know before you plan on
Was
jumping.
he wearing his iron, his armor?
Yes.
As I said, too big, too heavy.
Thanks, Sirius.
Yep. If you need some more healing, I've got a couple of potions.
I think I'm all right. He points to the
Sure.
direction. He points in 2 directions. He's like, there are eggs in that tree, and there, and there's something weird down there about 2 miles out.
What do you mean
Just kind
something
of sits
weird?
down for a little bit. Just
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We can take a little bit of a break. What do you mean something weird?
I don't know how to explain it, but it's really far. I'm not sure if I saw it that well, but it looks like something weird is going on with the river.
Okay.
But
So
I don't
maybe
know.
like
I
a
don't
little
know if it's
pathway
like a
sort of thing?
magical thing, or if it's just like a weird. If like something happened there, and if we got closer, I could probably tell you, or you could probably figure out if we got closer.
Sure, but let's just, take a
He's
little
kind
bit
of
of
just lies
time.
down.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll have him like lean over into me and just be like, you're okay. It's okay.
Scramble up the tree to get the eggs.
I was gonna ask, but I was like, did you want someone to get the eggs?
He's like, I can go back up if you
No,
want the
nope.
eggs.
It's
No,
No,
don't
it's
you're
do that.
okay.
staying here.
It's okay. You don't have to
Okay.
go anywhere. You've done so much already.
Oh God! Is someone going to get the eggs?
Liz is, I think.
Yeah, let's go climb up the tree and get the eggs.
Easily enough, Liz. When you actually climb the tree and don't try to jump from treetop to treetop to get there, it's easy enough to scramble up there. And you're taking eggs out of a bird's nest, but they sure look delicious.
Yeah, Liz will kind of, feel bad about it for like a second and then carry them back down.
Make an
Yeah.
acrobatics check to climb down without cracking any of the eggs.
Oh no.
Okay. That's a 25. Oh, I
With a
did it.
25? The 25, easily enough, Liz, you like basically climb down one-handed.
Slide down the tree.
Beautiful.
just like swinging between branches, grabbing with one hand,
Essentially.
like
One hand.
swinging. Yeah.
Yeah, Liz's dad is Tarzan.
Of course.
That's Liz. Yeah, she'll kind of like get the eggs, and then I think she just took the whole nest, like the whole thing. And she just like walks up to Lance.
We
You're
should
so
get-
much better at it than I am.
You brought the whole nest down. We should leave. We should like disperse that and get out of
Before we
here.
get attacked by birds.
How big are the eggs? Are they like really big? Riley, you're muted.
I knew that. They're not huge, but they're definitely bigger than just like your average bird egg.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not like something that's gonna swoop down and eat you guys right up. But they're definitely a larger bird.
Yeah, we should get gone at least while we have these eggs. But good job on getting them though.
Phenomenal job.
Next time, Lance, just climb down and climb up the next one.
Chase your dreams.
Okay.
Or just let me know and I can make you float.
We can also work on long jump during training if you want.
Yeah, I actually heard about the Zephyra. They have like a sport where they teach people to do that. Like they teach people how to jump between trees and they like play it as a sport. It's like a really cool Ashari thing.
And why aren't we playing
Where are
this
they?
game?
The Ashari,
Ah,
Zephyra.
How far are they?
I don't know if I actually know off the top of my head. I probably do know where Zephyra is.
You know where Zephyra is by nature of where you have to be. Zephyra, from where you guys are now, is actually just southwards. If you were to go back to the tourist fields and go down towards the Lucidian coast, they are in the mountains out there. They're actually the closest Ashari tribe to you at this moment.
I vote we go there
Oh.
next.
Through the mountains.
I agree.
Well, are we
What?
going to Lightstone or something? We gotta get tattoos, right?
We have to get the diamond tattoos.
Well, we can go.
Finally,
we can keep
yes.
going up and then go back down.
That is an option. Yeah.
So you all haven't
Okay.
forgotten about the tattoos.
You thought that they were
I
going to
haven't.
forget?
Lance is gonna just get
I
up
felt
and kind of
betrayed.
like waddle on. Just like waddle forward.
Oh, poor Bestie. I'll walk with him, like his arm is fully over my shoulder, just like it's there. Take it easy.
Walk it off. All right. So yeah, you guys are approaching the general area. Lance, you saw about 2 miles eastward
Mm-hmm.
that the river sort of has this unnatural motion to it that'll point you in the right direction. And after a bit of travel in that direction, you guys sort of move a bit closer. And I was going to make you roll survival checks, but with Lance's 20, I think you get right into that area. And you do not see a camp around, but you definitely all notice sort of as the river has been gradually widening, almost looking like it's headed towards something. There is just a bit of it where like almost cuts back in to be thin in a way that like it's like very sharp angles in a way that rivers wouldn't naturally move without either being changed or something else.
How far away from me are we from that like point on the river?
How close do you get? Do you think you would get?
I should probably walk up to the bank where he sees the weird thing and he's just like, yeah, it definitely looks weird as close as he can get.
Yeah, I think we probably just walk to the weird river spot.
Lovely. In that case, I would like for all of you to please
Yeah, I was about to be
roll
like, I don't speak for everybody, but if y'all are
perception
right,
check.
if y'all right, then we good.
I can't think of why we wouldn't or why we would take another approach.
I got a 17.
I got a 19. Let's go.
Ouch.
sir.
5.
I got a 5.
Let's go,
It's a
Kyra.
10 from Lance.
All right. So with Lance sort of leading the way and all of you sort of helping to keep an eye out, Lance and Sirius, you see as you're in this area, there's like a not small amount of owls moving about in the daylight that is generally, you see like you see one sort of fly across the treetop and you're like, oh, weird. And then you
Would
see it
Lance know that
again
there are nocturnal?
and you're like, weird. Make a nature check, Lance.
Alright. Because that's
Does
just
Lance know
another
that
day for
owls are
Lance.
nocturnal?
That's very
It's
funny.
just another day for Lance.
Hey!
Ooh, I know.
Yes, he
I'm
does.
an owl connoisseur.
That's a natural
Connoisseur.
20 for a total of 19.
Hearing that
That's
out loud
so
is
funny.
amazing. A natural 20 for a total of
Minus one
19.
in nature.
You do know this, Lance. Shockingly.
That's the only thing I've learned from school.
Whew.
But
Okay,
it's a bit odd. And usually it's not normal for this time of day.
Could I cast
Okay.
Detect Magic?
Sure.
Cool.
Go ahead and
While he's doing
pop
that,
it in the chat and put that template down.
Lance
Yo!
that's
that was
cool.
lit. That was
Lance is
lit.
gonna turn to Wellen and be like, Wellen, I'm not the master scientist on like say birds and stuff, but aren't there some birds that are only awake during the night?
Yeah, like owls.
Is that an
I don't
owl?
know. Yeah.
And that one, and like that one, he just points
There's
out a
not
couple
like an
owls.
excessive amount of them, and they're definitely not
Okay.
sticking around. But you like that's weird that they're out right now. To see more than one. And it's like living and not.
Yeah. I've seen like 3 of
Rabbit.
them, and they're like flying away when we get
Do
close.
you think they're trying to get their eggs back?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's like, no.
Sirius, as you are listening to a little bit of this clownery, you do detect at this sort of cut-in illusion magic.
Okay. I would then like to go ahead and dispel magic.
Ooh.
The 1-2 combo.
Sort of as you go
Really give him
cast
the D&D
this
there.
dispel magic, I believe that you have to make a d20 roll.
Oh, is it higher than 3rd level? The
It
illusion
sure
magic?
is.
Ooh, okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
Make an ability check using my spellcasting
charisma
ability. That is a
ability check,
charisma
yes.
ability check. Here we go.
And what is the DC based on the level, right?
Yup.
Yeah, unfortunately, you go to dispel this and the illusion remains. But as you do so, you actually see that a large elk pushes through sort of the tree line right in front of you guys. You're all like, oh, shit. Because elk are very, very big. And sort of there's a moment where this elk sort of steps forward and then transforms into this sort of humanoid figure with this very pale skin,
It's
dark
popping off. I was like, oh shit.
it's got these
You see me
dark-
do that.
dark brown eyes and this sort of close shorn red hair, and they're like wielding a spear at the ready to say, turn around, go home.
Wait. Hi.
Please.
Sorry.
It's like-
We're looking for a man named Apassos.
Yep.
Would you mind taking us to him if you know
What
who
do
this
you
is?
want with him? Who are you?
I pull out my periapt of healing. I say, I'm really sick, and I was told by.
As you say that, they like take a couple of steps backward.
Not that kind of sick. I'm not gonna cough on you, but I do need healing, and I heard that Apassos has the ability to relieve diseases.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Ooh.
The 16, you kind of see
16.
their face soften a bit, and they say, very well, follow me. And you watch as they turn back into this elkin figure and walk through the trees.
So I kind of look at Liz and I go, I think that might be a druid. I think they might be one of the Ashari. And I guess I'm
Lance
gonna
is following close to this man.
yeah, as we call after them, I'm like, wait, are you a druid? As we're like walking, I kind of call to it.
It's fully an elk, just sort of like looks back at you and then continues to walk forward. And as it sort of leads you through this tree line, you see that where the river had widened before was indeed illusory, as it has been shifted and thinned to sort of make a camp-like space where you see there are sort of felled logs that you have to step over, and the elk sort of guides you around a couple of barricades of these sort of thick branches that have been brought to a bit of a point, as though it's sort of defending somewhere. And in the middle of this clearing of trees, you see that there's a couple of folks hanging around, and you do see there are owls sort of hopping through the trees. And as you all roll up to this outpost, here the elk leads you
He's
forward.
huge.
Uh-oh.
Elk are huge. And the elk sort of continues forward and just leads you to where these trees break as you move. And you see and step out of the tree line to where there's what look to be about 5 humanoid figures sort of sitting doing various either chores around camp or reading or studying. You actually see those of you who are on the more perceptive side notice basking in the water of the river is just a full-sized crocodile that does seem to just be chilling. And there is one figure here who sort of steps up, an older man with this long red hair, seems to be wearing armor made of bone and leathers, sort of steps up and looks inquisitively at you as sort of the elk transforms back into this younger humanoid. And you can immediately see sort of the relation between the two, just as they were looking for you as a healer.
Wellen in his head is like, oh no, this guy is part of the camp. I didn't think we had to come here first.
Please, come in, as sort of this figure transforms back into an elk and just sort of stalks away.
So wait, where is the guy that we just saw?
The one stepping forward, I believe you should be able to see right here, sort of steps to the edge of the camp, past a few of these figures, and says, you are in need of healing, please. I can see one of you is walking a bit tenderly. Are you injured?
He is, but he's not why we're here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about him. This one is he's the one.
Let's just gonna shimmy over to a tree and sit down. It's like, okay.
I like very quickly. I'm like, yeah, and I very quickly like take the periapt off, and you see his skin like immediately like get paler and like dry looking. He's like, oh, yeah, I have a fever. It's pretty bad, and I put it back on. I was like,
Yes, please
yeah.
come sit down. I certainly can take a look. My name is Apostles Brightsworn of the Earth Ashari.
Hi, my name is Wellen Arush. I went and shake his hand.
And he sort of holds one out. Please, all of you come in. Don't mind any of the various figures. They're all allies of ours. Nothing to be concerned about.
I help Lance up. Come on, we should go with them.
And he sort of leads you deeper into camp over here before sort of having you sit down, sort of gesturing this druid off of their stool and sort of gesturing for you to sit down on this stump. As you all sort of walk in, you do see it's a pretty heavily guarded space. Like, these logs seem to have like briars and sharp branches sort of grown across them, where there's not actual like whittled barricades here, almost as if they're sort of dug in for a little bit of defense. And how long, tell me, have you contracted, how long ago did you contract this condition?
I turned to Liz. She's like standing right there. I'm like, how long ago did we meet? When did we meet in I forgot the town's name. In that port town?
Vasselheim?
Vasselheim?
Yeah.
Some port city, you know.
It's been like 8 months? 9? This is Zoe. I'm not totally sure exactly how, but that feels correct.
Yeah, we'll say it works. Yeah, we'll say it's been a good while. It's been almost a year, like 8 or 9 months.
My goodness, you have certainly let this progress.
Does somebody from the Cobalt Soul in Vasselheim help me? They gave me this to like just so I wouldn't die, and they told me to seek you out.
Yes, I certainly should be able to take a look at this. Please, the rest of you, if there's anything that you need, please just let Tansei know, and sort of gestures to this very much older looking turtle who's kind of draped in this like almost like kind of not a bandolier in that it has like bullets and stuff in it, but this like cross wrap. Tansei could certainly help you if there's anything that you need. I'm going to take a look at your friend here.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say something, but I'll wait.
Thank you.
And sort of this turtle, older druid sort of slowly just introduces themselves to each of you.
I feel like Lance is gonna walk over to there and be like, yeah, like what would you do if like you fell from a tree and just like start having the conversation with them and just move on?
Sirius is gonna awkwardly third wheel that conversation. But like in a real, like, he's never seen a fucking turtle before, so he's definitely doing the like, I shouldn't stare. I shouldn't. Be normal.
Amazing. And sort of as he begins sort of just kind of conducting a bit of an examination and he has you take the periapt off and sort of keep it off as he's sort of examining your sort of the skin and sort of taking your fever and just generally checking you over, and he says, so Wellen, this is quite a long way from.
Oh no, did we lose Riley?
Oh yeah,
We got her!
No.
They nabbed Riley!
Yo, Riley!
I thought you were
Return
doing
to us.
The fucking Ashari nabbed Riley!
I thought that was like a dramatic pause, and then I looked over and she was not in the chat yet.
Y'all ever accidentally click the back button instead of the first tab on your browser?
Yikes!
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, it's quite a long way to be coming from Vasselheim. What brings you to Tal'Dorei?
Well, I mean, mostly coming to find you. Actually, I was in Vasselheim nearby when I contracted the disease. I was kind of just staying out in the woods. Um, it's part of how I got the disease. I was living on my own.
You should really, surely be more careful. This can be quite deadly if left to just progress. I'm glad you found that agent of the soul when you can. Hold still for a moment. You might feel a bit of warmth.
I'm like shaking this whole time because I don't have the periapt on, so I'm like shaking, and his voice is like quivering as he's talking.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wellen, how are you kind of feeling right now as you're in this camp of Ashari and sort of in this vulnerable state?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously very shaky because he's got that fever and the symptoms are kind of coming out in full blast a little bit right now. But it's also like a combination of that and being anxious of like, okay, these people are set up and fortified. They seem like they're hostile to some extent. I have to tell them to something about these lichens, and hoping he can kind of keep his Armente under wraps the whole time, at least while he's having that conversation, hopefully.
Yes, you might feel a bit of warmth wash over you, but this should take care of you here. As he sort of pulls out this like pouch of various herbs and other spell components.
Is it okay if Liz is here? Like, can she be around? She doesn't have to like be gone, does she?
No, yes, of course. I don't have anything to hide.
She's
hi,
like
Liz.
Yeah. I just kind of turn. I'm laying down on like the stump, and I just kind of turn to her and I like grab her hand.
Yeah.
Feel good.
As sort of this warmth washes over you, as this sort of magic coalesces at his hands and then sort of goes throughout your body. Wellen and Liz, both of you, make insight checks for me, please.
Good insight.
It's a 19 from
12.
Liz.
19 from Liz. Both of you notice this, one because it's happening to you, but Liz, you watch his brows sort of knit together, sort of in like a, what? That's on. And Wellen, you kind of feel this warmth wash over you, and then the shakes of your fever sort of resume. He's like,
What's wrong?
Oh, just that spell should have worked. Let me try once more. And you kind of feel the light and sort of energy around his hands gets a little bit brighter, a little bit more widespread, as he's going to cast a greater restoration spell on you, Wellen. Sort of, you see he takes out, this time not this pouch, but another smaller one of this like very reflective sort of almost pearlescent dust that he sort of sprinkles on your chest, Wellen, and as this magic sort of seeps into you, it's like almost a too hot warmth throughout your body. You like
is this supposed to burn like that?
You sort of squeeze Liz's hands as the warmth fades away. You feel almost the feeling in your chest after you guys have had a good cry, just sort of that weightlessness. And you kind of like look around and you look at your skin and you seem to be cured.
My eyes, I kind of like, I'm opening and closing my eyes just to be like, is that like almost as if I were to blink, it would come back.
Well, I'm glad that seemed to work, though it should have the first time. How did you say you contracted this again?
It just kind of came over me. I was out in the woods living by myself, and I don't know, maybe my shelter wasn't covered enough and I got rained on too bad, or I've just kind of been out in the elements for a long time, and then eventually at some point I started having chills and felt very warm no matter how hot it was or cold it was outside.
It is quite an unfortunate bit of luck, but it does seem to have been taking care of. That amulet very well have saved your life.
I'm entirely grateful for it. I look at it, and I remember about Sirius, and I look up to him and I go, do you know anything about lichens and lycanthropy?
And I think, Liz, with your 19, as sort of the word lichens and lycanthropy, kind of, there's just a moment of like darkness that flashes over his face, just sort of like in this anger. He says, unfortunately, I do happen to be familiar. Yes.
Do you think you could cure it in somebody?
Probably.
Also, thank you so much. I take both of his hands in my hand also, and I'm like, sorry, I didn't say thank you. Like you said, that could have killed me. And I had that thing on me, but I would still feel the chills sometimes, especially when I wake up. So I really appreciate it.
I'm glad to help, of course. I'm glad that you sought me out. Be more careful.
I will. I'll try.
You too. Help keep an eye on him. But yes, I am familiar with lycanthropy. I believe the magic I just used to heal you should work if it's by the bite of a lichen and not some other sort of supernatural cause.
I turn to Liz and I'm like, should we just ask him if we can heal Sirius now, or I don't know if that's like we're being too forward, or I don't know.
We might as well.
Okay. We had kind of a run-in with some lichens out by the terse fields, and our friend got bit. And I point over to Sirius, who's having a conversation with Lance and the Turtle. He had his first turn last night, or 2 nights ago, and it was fine. But ideally, we would like to. He doesn't want to be a lichen, and I think we'd like to cure it if possible.
And he was unwilling to be bitten.
Yeah, like I said, we had a run-in. Things got kind of contentious.
That is unfortunate. We've been sent to deal with a similar sort of situation in these woods. So yes, I've done it before. I can certainly do it again.
Right. Okay. I call this Sirius. I'm like, hey, Sirius, I think we might have I don't know the word I'm looking for, but a good thing for you.
I'm just going to sort of, thank you so much for your time. This has been a riveting, enlightening conversation.
Yes, of course. Yes.
I'm going to go. And he about faces, just turns on his heels.
Bye. So anyway, I feel bad for the birds because just keep talking.
You are serious then?
Yeah. Hi. I accidentally caught lycanthropy.
Yes. There are not many who would choose something like this for themselves, certainly. How, if I may ask, could you describe? They said that you turned 2 days ago. Yes.
It was awful. It was pretty painful. But I didn't hurt anybody. Thankfully, I didn't scratch or bite anybody. And preferably, I would like to never go through something like that ever again.
See, so there's just sort of this like almost one smile across his face, and he says, "Yes, I should be able to help you, Sirius. I am Stoneguard Brightsworn at your service. Now, if you would just please have a seat here. It might, if you were recently turned, this might be a bit painful, unfortunately."
That seems to be a recurring trend, yeah.
I presume a few moments of pain might be better than the alternative.
He sits down.
Right, and he sort of begins, he pulls out that same dust for you that he used for you, Wellen, but instead of pouring it sort of across the chest area as Wellen did, he actually takes a bit, sort of mixes it with a bit of water, some other poultice, and sort of Sirius dots a bit on your forehead, just right at the base of your throat, and then right between the bottom of your ribs and your belly button. Sort of on you and says, now, this should clear the hold over you, though it's probably going to be a bit messier since you cannot do it at will. So I apologize. And then sort of casts this warmth through you, and you hear a roaring like through your brain, and sort of feel the claw of the alpha sort of dragged down. It feels like from the inside of your brain tearing through the rest of your body.
Oh no.
You take
Oh no! Oh god.
14 points of psychic damage.
Okay, that's a
As
lot.
this sort of rips through you, sort of tearing this element that has rooted in your body from it. But after that initial claw and sort of tearing, you feel this like quiet warmth just sort of wash over, starting at your forehead down through the rest of your body. You kind of feel yourself recovering in a way that you didn't really realize you were feeling the effects of it. Like you feel your heartbeat slow down, and you kind of catch your breath, like a full inhale and exhale for the first time in weeks.
You weren't kidding about the pain.
Done this a couple of times now over the last couple of weeks, and it does not ever seem to be pleasant. Certainly more unpleasant if they have had a turn, unfortunately.
Yep. Well, I would like to extend my gratitude. Thank you very much. I appreciate what you've done for not just me, but for my friend here. We owe you a debt of gratitude.
Well, if you don't mind, I actually do have a favor to ask of you all, both, in return. If you may.
Okay, I was about to go yank.
Yeah, we finished our conversation. He said, "Yeah, thanks for talking about it. Everyone felt it kind of hurts, but I
just cast message over the land, like, hey, we need you over here. Group meeting.
It hurts, but I'll be okay."
If you will, I'm not sure if you had where were you when you contracted this lycanthropy?
Just outside of the Turst Fields.
Oh, unfortunate. If I may, if you all would be willing, we were here hunting some lycanths who were attacking travelers along the roads, sort of hunting them instead of the more natural predators for one reason or another. We managed to chase them out of the forests, but I fear that they had taken root elsewhere, so it seems I would ask that perhaps that you seek them out. We're here sort of entrenched with ourselves, making sure they do not return here, but I fear to leave here, or else they may come back. If you would happen to just be willing to verify their presence and where they are and return to me, and just, you need not engage, but just discover their camp and share its location, I would be very grateful.
You're saying you think there are still lichens nearby here? Or you mean the lichens that you drove out, you want us to find them?
I would like to make sure and find the lichens. If they escaped and they were hunting people here, I'm sure they're continuing their hunting efforts elsewhere. They were quite a vicious band. We took out quite a bit of them, but not not all of them. Some they did manage to make their escape, including a bit of their leadership.
So they were attacking travelers on the road, and you just, I guess it makes sense that you would drive them away. Look, we the people that we ran into, I think the Lycans we ran into might be the same Lycans that you drove out.
I do believe that is the case, yes. So I can imagine that you would be thirsty for some amount of revenge, as any sane person would be.
Well, you're wrong and you're right. We have gotten revenge to an extent that the leader of that pack is no longer alive.
Bodied, yeah.
Merrick, I don't know if he had another name. He was the leader of a Lycan pack, and he wasn't the person who, turned Sirius, but one of his underlings did, and we essentially dismantled their operation. There are a few of them still alive, but they have expressed that they really, they were along for their packs. Really their leader's mission, their leader who was racked by the grief of getting drove out by you guys.
Mm-hmm.
The town we came to where we all met was being terrorized by lycanthropy, and my friend got bit. Essentially because they were trying to refill their numbers after getting somewhat decimated and driven out by the Ashari. Why did you guys do that? I understand they were killing travelers. I understand all of that, but there had to be a different way of resolving that conflict than to just drive out the entire pack and kill a lot of them.
I mean, certainly reason was attempted. There's only so much discussion that can be had, and so many threats, so many of our own lives lost. And he sort of gestures over this way, if you would. We have our own who did not make it out of there, our own who were themselves turned because of this. And diplomacy reason was attempted, but their leadership was not amenable to new lands nor changing their hunting patterns. They were intent on increasing the size of their tribe. It's not something I reveled in doing myself, certainly not. But
does this all feel like legit?
Make an insight check.
I'm also going to make an insight check because I've just been running this with the other story in the back of my head.
That's an 8 from Liz.
Go for it.
Lance ain't catching on to nothing.
I'll do an insight check. I think that
That's a 15 from Calesta.
I'm a little sketch about this guy. Insight.
Wellen's taking him at face value for the most part. He's
That's
thinking
a
too much
5
about what he's
too.
trying to respond to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Liz and Sirius, he's pretty, not trying to be punny because Ashari, he's pretty stony and hard to read. He's just kind of nodding along, sort of pretty emotionlessly explaining what happened from that point of view. And I regret the loss of life. Truly, we did everything that we thought we could to prevent it, but when we tried to get them to leave and to drive out, they were fighting back. They were attempting to kill us, so we did not have any choice but to use deadly force in return.
Did Calesta get more from
Yeah, I
that
was going to
alpha
ask, did I get
15?
anything?
Yeah, Calesta, you kind of, in your experience with kind of generally just people who hold their emotions to the side. There's like, you catch an occasional like glimmer in his eye and a twitch of the lip that reads with some genuine sorrow. Like, it's not an easy position that I think he believes that he has found himself in here. And he definitely does seem, especially when he's saying like he regrets the loss of innocent life, seems to be genuine.
Well, after our run-in with the Lycans, I think we can, from all of our testimony, affirmatively say that even amongst the group that you drove out of this forest, there were innocent lives. And I promised them, some of the families that were left alive from that pack, that I would come and talk to you all. To request that you allow them a place to stay and not have them have to roam the fields, of the terse fields, kind of by themselves and establish themselves somewhere.
I have no quarrel with Lycans who are not turning innocent people, who are not attacking and killing and hunting anything but the wildlife. Hunting and death and decay is a part of the natural order of things. It simply is something that must be accepted for some species to survive. I have no quarrel with that. Is the attacks of the innocent, of the unwilling. That is unacceptable to myself and the Stone Speaker himself.
I understand, but I think sometimes your approach might need to be a little bit more nuanced. And that's all I try to say to him. I kind of look down and I look back up and go, so they can come back into these woods. They can come back to the Parchwood Timberlands.
We will have no quarrel with them if they stick to what is correct and are not turning those who do not wish to be turned, and not hunting those who travel innocently along these roads.
I don't think the ones that we left will be doing that. I kind of turn to Liz. I turn to Liz just to kind of confirm, like, that's what we were doing. That was the read that you got on those folks, Kashgar and his family.
Yeah, I think that they just kind of want to come home and, I mean, they know that they're different and they probably won't be accepted in a lot of other places. And so I reckon they wouldn't bother nobody. But we don't think that maybe they're the only ones that are left.
Right. Oh my. Yeah. That was the other part of us coming out here to see you. Honestly, I didn't expect that. I was looking for Apostles Bryceworn. I didn't know that Apostles Bryceworn was a stone. What is it? Stone Keeper? Is that what they're called?
Stone. Oh, geez, I just lost it. He is a stone guard.
Stone Guard. I didn't expect that Apostles was a stone guard, but we are also looking for the Earth Ashari who drove those people out, because it sounds like the Lycans are planning to strike back. At least
Strike back
the council.
on us. We are prepared for that.
Is this Tara?
No, this is not.
Tara's.
That's, I think, what they are trying to get.
And you all sort of watch as his eyes go wide.
So yeah, they're like, levels. The people that are coming here, as far as we know, good folk. They are running from a group of elders of Lycans, who are the ones that are trying to attack Tara. Just so we're clear, the people coming here, not the ones trying to attack Tara. we can vouch for those folks, but the elders are sort of the ones that they're also running away from, that are planning to attack Terra.
I believe the pack that you drove out of these woods was originally gathering their numbers because they were already planning to take an army to Terra and meet with another group.
Additionally, where is Gray Valley?
Gray Valley is just on the other side of range of the Cliff Keep Mountains from Terra.
Okay, well, from what we've heard, that was also a place that they were looking to get revenge, if those are separate.
They're unfortunately quite close.
Yeah, the Gray Valley was where they was going to meet up with. I guess there's maybe some of them one place and some of them from a couple of others, and they were all going to kind of like huddle in the Gray Valley and then sack Terra.
Oh, I must get word to the heart of the mountain. My goodness. I must get word to it. I told him we should never have made it known. Anyways, I thank you for this information. I am pleased that we will be able to avoid being caught unawares. Unfortunately, I am not sure how familiar many of you are with the Ashari culture, but generally our tribes tend to stay quite isolated. I'm not sure that we would be able to sustain a successful attack or defense from us. I must get word to both the Heart and to Zephyra. If I may, I would have another request for you. I'm not sure in which direction you intend to travel or return to, but I am afraid that it is quite difficult for me to be in two places at the same time. If you would, I would ask either you take word to Terra or Zephyra, to Terra to warn them of the imminent attack, and to Zephyra to plead for their aid for imminent. Did they say when? Do you know when they were planning to attack?
No. We just got a note we stole a note from a dead body from somebody named Basilia that told the guy that was dead to go meet up with Atsoa. I'm real good at reading.
Basilia, Atsoa. Yes, okay. If you would be willing, whichever we are not able to take, our forces are not powerful enough here to be much split, and I think a smaller contingent as of you would be able to move faster. Would you be willing to do this favor for me?
I'm gonna
For
look
the
to
Ashari.
You have no way to reach the Heart yourself?
I would not be able to reach both places in time for what I fear might be an imminent attack, and Terra is not in a way to sustain an attack without some additional aid.
We know that we slowed them down at the very least, or the force they're coming with won't be as significant as they were expecting. We took out, one of their main recruiting leaders, I suppose, who was supposed to bring folks with him. I hadn't really thought about where we were going next after this. It sounded like we were heading to Whitestone, but I turned to Sirius and I'm like,
Funnily enough,
If you are headed to Whitestone, I know that their leadership is quite close with the leadership of Zephyra. That may be of some assistance as well. They may be able to quickly get in touch with her.
Right. Don't we? Isn't there an ambassador for the Ashari on the Tal'Dorei console?
Yes, that would be the voice of the Tempest.
Yeah. Oh, wait. this is Keyleth. Keyleth is still alive and around at this point.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Maybe we can find an audience with the Council of Taldore somehow, or just someone who knows who they are.
Yes, the voice should be able to, at the very least, request aid either from the council, from Whitestone, or provide it herself if needed. I know Zephyr has recently sustained some attacks themselves, so I know that of their strength at the moment.
That's alarming also.
It's alarming times, indeed.
Well, I suppose we can head to Whitestone then and do what we can to find somebody to send word.
That would be much appreciated. We must leave this place and return home.
I think you should. I think it's a good idea.
I have not the strength myself this evening, and you all are welcome to rest among us. Sort of as the evening sun has sort of begun to dip down beneath the trees, you all are, of course, welcome to rest here for the evening in this safety. But we must part ways at dawn.
You're leaving at dawn. Is it all right then if I write a message across the sky for the Lycans that we left? I let them know that within a few days of when we left that I would write them a message and let them know if they were going to be in danger coming back here or not.
If you must.
Great, thank you. I won't do it right now, but later Wellen's going to plan to go outside of like the illusion zone and do a skywrite for it.
Yes, and you sort of watch as Apostles just sort of begins to bustle quite around, sort of calling a couple of folks together, and they're like, everybody leaves that group looking concerned and like kind of hustling around to pack up their stuff. It's a busy night here at the Ashari outpost, but if there's anything you guys would like to do this evening.
I guess I'm gonna chill and eat because we have been walking for 2 weeks straight.
Wellen, what are you doing with Skyrite? Like, what are you putting up into the sky?
I think I feel like I had established something that I was gonna put in the sky to let them know. But I will say I will just write in the sky. Home clear or something like that. Not a lot of words, just something very like succinct that doesn't give a ton of information, but is very clearly like telling the werewolves your home it's okay for you to go to. It's like home clear or something like that is probably what I would say right in the sky. And I'll cast
these like white puffy clouds. Zoe, were you gonna say something this evening that you were sort of up to and around?
Oh, I was just gonna ask if they needed any help with things.
Yeah, they will happily take it as sort of their things are being packed into various possessions. You are introduced to a young woman who looks to be of the halfling persuasion named Nisa, who is kind of rounding up what looks to be like some kind of animal feed or something like that you are kind of charged with helping.
We also got some eggs if people are hungry.
A dinner is made just very like starchy vegetable based. It's pretty basic, but better than rations and mushroom smoothies that turn your stomach.
Yeah.
As we sit down, true. As we sit down to eat, Calesta will look at Wellen and Sirius and say, "So, how are you all feeling?"
I feel. It sounds weird, but I almost feel taller. Like it's that much of like a weight kind of off my shoulders. It's very nice. I don't even, it's hard to describe, when you have something that's kind of just been like part of how you're your body feels for a long time, so much you get like used to it. I can't really describe it much more than feeling like there is a shift in weight, you know, and it's easier to carry myself, and I feel less like weak, you know. It's very nice. I thank you all for helping us get here. I say us because me and Sirius, but helping me get here, I really very much appreciate it. And I try to make like very intentional eye contact with all four of you. Yeah.
I'm glad that you're feeling better. Can confirm that you're not actually taller, though.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna get away with that.
Well, he's sitting down right now, so you can't really tell. I mean, he might be. It's just that he's sitting, so you know.
Mm-hmm. Look, my hips might have. I don't know.
Hey,
Line some.
it looks like he's gotten like an inch and a half. You know, just a little bit. I mean, I feel like shit right now, but that's only because it feels like something with claws was forcibly yanked out of my sternum. So, you know, outside of that, I seem to be good.
Less hungry than before.
For sure, for sure. I feel less grouchy. Like, it's a weird thing to say, but like, I know that I was kind of a dick.
Really?
Yes, and you know, I would like to apologize to everybody for that in general. You know, I would love to totally excuse it on the lycanthropy, but you know, I've lived a life of wealth and relaxation, and this is very different from that. And I'm sure that the lycanthropy only sort of, you know, brought that further out. But I never mean to be disrespectful to any of you guys, and I'll work on that. But yeah, I think I'm okay, which is crazy.
And you only have to do one turn.
You know, when you say it like that, I hope that nobody ever unwillingly turns ever again, because that was the worst experience I think I've ever had in my entire life.
Do you think the people who do it on purpose is easier for them?
Probably. It's probably a little more cooperative. I'm sure that it's less painful, and I'm sure that after a while they get used to it.
Yeah.
So the plan is still Whitestone? We just because that's like where I had wanted to go doesn't mean that's where we have to go.
I don't want to go to Zephyra.
You don't want to learn the tree jump sport thing?
Windball sounds awesome, but I don't know that is what I like want to do quite right now. No. I'm like looking around at all the other Ashari like packing up and like trying to keep my voice down to make sure I don't let too much slip. No, I just feel more comfortable not being amongst, not having to go into another Ashari capital right now. You know, hopefully, I know they say that Keyleth, the leader of the which one are they? The Vespa.
Leader of Zephyra.
No. The Tempest is not.
The Tempest is Zephyra.
Right? Oh, it is.
The
Okay, my
Tempest
bad. Yeah, the leader of Zephyra, she was one of those. I talked about her before, Keyleth. She was one of like the Vox Machina people. She works with the Taldore Council, and I don't really know what they do, but I assume that one of the big cities of Taldore, has a way we can get in touch with the council. So, and maybe you might be able to help me, Sirius. I don't know. You seem to know a lot about how cities work and how they do things.
Kind of. I've read a lot about cities, specifically, Whitestone, because it's one of the biggest. But I've never never been to a big city.
Oh, I had the entirely wrong idea about you, like from the moment I've met you. That's I'll take that. That's my bad. I'll take that one on me for not having asked the right questions. But like Lance, you were a guard in a big city for a long time, like night, right?
I was going to say this earlier, but Lance is probably helping them move stuff around at this point. So Lance is fully gone.
I say that to Lance, and I turn
And
to his
it's
help,
just
and he's
an
gone.
empty, right? It's the outline of Lance, like they do in all the anime.
Yeah, he's carrying boxes and stuff.
What do you think you need to know about cities?
I don't know. Just I feel I don't know a lot. Like I said, I talked to you last night. I don't know a lot about how Taldore's kind of society and culture functions. I've been outside. I've been in a city, 2 cities really, since we started traveling, and we only spent but maybe a few days in both places. We were on the sea and on the road, and I've been in the woods since I've left home, pretty much. So yeah, I'm just people who know how to get in touch with people or find the right authorities or whatever,
Don't know much about Whitestone, but I've experience in big cities.
Really?
Not sure if I will be the best to help you find the authorities, but we can work something out. They're usually not too hard to find.
A quick way is to commit a crime.
I don't know that we want to do that, but
I mean, I'm not suggesting it. I'm just saying it's
yeah,
a great efficient strategy.
it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
But also sometimes just being really loud works good.
I guess I could.
These are also options. I was going to recommend going to the Capitol or to an office, but
We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah, and that way we don't have to. We can still go to Whitestone. I know that was your original destination, so we can still get there and help out whoever you need to help out or explore or see what happens next, I suppose.
For sure.
Cool. I like just kind of put my bowl down. I'm like, man, I've been eating smoothies this whole time. We've had other meals, but like it's a little bit different. The Ashari meals hit a little bit different.
Why did you whisper?
I haven't mentioned. I don't think I've told any of them that I am Ashari at all. And I just would like to keep that down. I can tell you why later.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if
As
I
you
look
all
Ashari, if that's a thing. Like my
sort of-
clothes. Give it away.
I don't think so particularly. I think Wellen probably would have made efforts to specifically not do that. But as you all sort of finish up your meals and help sort of pack up for the night, is there anything else at any point in this evening you guys would like to do? As all of you get a full rest, are you taking watches? Or are you feeling okay in this relative safety?
Probably not, because it's so fortified, right?
It is
I
very
guess-
fortified.
Yeah, we can ask Apastos, like, do we...
I don't know about that crocodile in the water alligator, but I mean, do we chillin'?
Do we... should we help take watches? I kind of just turned to Apastos at a certain point in the night.
No, certainly not. Get some rest. You both of you have had big days. All of you have had big travel days.
I actually do have a question.
Yes.
How familiar are you guys with like arcane objects?
The arcane is not really my specialty. I partake in more natural magics. Why do you ask?
We came across a magical item of sorts, and haven't had none of us have access to arcane spells to sort of reveal its abilities, and I was curious to know if anyone here did.
Oh, unfortunately, no. That's not quite any of our specialties. But it should, I do believe, if you spend the time to bring it to your use, you should be able to get an idea of its capabilities. But that, of course, comes with its own risks.
I also don't know what item are we asking about.
I'm talking about Merrick's sword.
I know how to
Okay.
use a
Yeah,
long
I
sword.
figured.
Wait, what?
What'd you say, Zoe?
I know how to use a long sword.
That's true.
I thought it was a great sword.
It's a long sword.
Okay.
It's a long sword. Okay.
I think
Now
it
I'm
might have
doubting
been a
it's
great
great
sword.
I thought it was a great
I
sword.
thought it
It
was
might be a great sword.
I could
Yeah.
probably use that too.
You can use it, yeah.
Fuck a proficiency bonus, right?
Yeah,
Go
unfortunately,
on, give it to
we
her.
are not
Let her
able
use it.
to
Let her attune to it.
be of much assistance.
Okay, no worries.
Thank you again for healing us and letting us stay. I pray
Certainly.
that everything goes well in Terra.
Me too. Me too. Rest easy tonight. We will wake you at dawn before we leave.
Sure. Have a good night.
You as well.
Do you have a pair of rain boots?
No,
me?
the rain doesn't. No, I don't.
Wait,
I
the
don't
rain isn't what?
bother me anyway.
I knew you were gonna say that shit. God damn it.
I thought you were gonna say that you had some spell to keep the rain away.
No, unfortunately, it's not within my capability. I can. Some of our most powerful have able to have control over the weather themselves, so that is a power not granted to me. No, unfortunately, we just learn to be comfortable with being wet. I'm sorry, I know it's not the most helpful answer. I don't have much else to offer.
We'll get you some rain boots in Whitestone.
True.
I'm sure they have them there.
Well, Lance has really big feet, so it's kind of probably maybe hard to find a regular cobbler that does them that big.
Oh, I thought they were for you.
No,
Well,
Lance
if it's a
said that he
cobbler,
was.
they should be doing it from scratch.
That's true. Now, Lance says that he falls.
He does fall. I say.
In general?
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Right.
I guess it's nighttime, and I pick myself up with my staff, and I go. I don't know. I guess we have to make our own camp.
But we'll just set up tents, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that you do. Is there anything else this evening you folks would like to do before you wake the next morning? Otherwise, as the sun begins to dawn over the trees, Wellen, Apossos comes and wakes you before quietly shakes you awake before anybody else. He says, Wellen, if I may, could I speak to you? I don't want to wake your friends quite yet.
Is everything okay? Are you sure?
Yes. You're in no danger.
Okay. Wellen in his head is like, oh my god, no way. I thought we were meant to make it.
As Wellen, you sort of step away, he says, I apologize for waking you a bit early. I know you've all had a long travel day. Yesterday I was quite shaken. Yesterday when my initial attempt to cure you did not work. That magic should have taken hold quite easily. I spent a bit of time last night meditating and sort of reflecting on why that may be, and the Wild Mother, I think, had seen fit to bless me with some dreams, to give me a bit of answers. And Wellen, I'm sorry, you seem to have a bit of unfortunate luck sort of casting a shadow over you. I will not pry or ask for any answers, but I had quite the vision of you running, always, constantly, from something, and it seems as though as you will continue to run, so too will the shadow of bad luck follow. And you were certainly cured of your disease. I don't want you to be worried about that, but it wouldn't feel right to me to not share what was given to me with you. I'm afraid I don't have many answers beyond this, as I'm not sure. Are you familiar with the Wild Mother herself?
Yes. I'm gonna say out of character before I embarrass myself. It's a Melora, right? That's the
Yes.
Wild Mother. Yes, I know. I've heard of Melora before.
Then you must have heard of her cryptic ways of speech, but I have no more answers further than this one, but whatever you are escaping from, someday you will have to confront it.
Thank you.
I apologize, that's, I'm sure, not reassuring news, but just be careful. You and your friends seem like good folk.
Thank you genuinely this time. Actually, they are very good people, and I hope that, I don't know, whatever I'm running from stays away as long as it could.
Don't we all? I think your friends would probably be better suited to a wake-up call from you rather than me, a stranger. If you wouldn't mind, we're nearly ready to leave.
I got it, yeah. Sure.
Thank you. As the Ashari say, just katayake and good luck.
I will respond with it, but say it like a little bit slow, like he doesn't really know what it is. I guess.
Make a deception check.
Oh. That's a 6. This man can't deceive, folks.
Let's see, we're going to make a little roll here in private to myself of this man's insight.
To see if he swings on well. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lying is bad.
Well,
As he sort of turns away, you kind of catch him sort of cock an eyebrow at you a little bit. As you sort of almost instinctively sort of hit the accent almost exactly right on accident. You're like, shit. But he doesn't say anything and he does walk away.
I kind of, as soon as he starts to walk away and fully turns his back, he Wellen speed shuffles away out of that conversation before he can change his mind again.
When Wellen gets back to the group, Calesta is already awake. She's like in a backbend like bridge and is looking at him and is like, "Where'd you go to?"
Uh, Apastos wanted to talk to me. Wow, it's really impressive. It's really flexible. I'm not, dwarves aren't built like that. We can't do that.
Could probably if you tried. Just stretch some.
Wellen isn't built like that. And I say, well, good morning. And I go and kind of shake Liz and Sirius and Lance awake.
Sure is a morning. As you all are being awoken, you sort of hear the bustling of voices sort of all congregating, not incredibly far from your tent as you've parked yourselves sort of under one of the larger trees in the vicinity that people seem to be crowding around.
So Path to Whitestone starts today, right?
Looks like it.
How far away is it, Lance?
Lance check.
Somehow Lance has become so good at this. Make Lance
Fucking cartographer, dude.
make a survival check.
It's all pure intuition.
Ooh.
You're not quite sure.
I have a map though.
You
Can I make it an advantage?
Fine. Don't laugh like that. I'll take it away.
Hey!
Of course I know where it is. What you mean?
What'd you get?
You thought?
What'd you get?
Oh, I got an 18.
Yeah, with an 18, you know that it would be probably about sort of through the thick forests, another 3, maybe 4 days. If you go on the road, it might cut about half a day or so off if you trek back out and then up.
Trek back up half a day? That's not enough. Maybe. It'll take about 4 days, maybe 3 days, 2.5 if we go back to the road, but that's up to you guys.
I mean, it's way faster than our earlier trips, right?
True.
That's true.
And I can actually sleep well. Well, mostly, yeah. When there aren't stone guards waking me up in the morning.
As you all are sort of beginning to pack and setting your course, you kind of take your tents down, and just as you are all just about ready to go, so too the stone guard Bryce one, who just sort of looks over at your group and gives you just another sort of deep nod of respect. And he sort of takes this staff out from behind his back, and you watch as he sort of draws it down the trunk of one of these trees as it actually almost seems to unzipper. And the Ashari begin to walk through, and you kind of with this like shook glance as you sort of take a peek through, and you see on the other side it leads out to what looks to be a cliffside looking out into a dry valley. Trees, and it's only open for a couple of seconds as they all quickly shuffle their way through before it closes behind them.
Does the valley look familiar to a man who has had bad dreams?
No.
Okay.
And you are left in the woods to continue your journey to Whitestone. And that is where we will end our session.
Awesome.
Oh boy.
Everybody,
Yo.
especially me, because I am at 8 hit points.
Oh yeah, long rest.
I never had a cure fuck me up so bad. Goddamn.
I never fell out of a tree before.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I believe we're going to go see what our friends over at TPK Roleplay are up to, if they are still online. If you guys want to hang around and go check that out, we can certainly do so. We will be back in a few weeks. Stay tuned to our socials like always, and we will talk to y'all real soon.
Wait, it started. I don't know if we're gone.
To channel divinity, use TPK roleplay. Are we still here?
Hi,
Yeah. I
everybody.
think we are. There we go.
Hey.
Now it's
We
Bye.
genuinely-
It's like Toy Story 2, and we're like, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye.
Huh,
I gotta go pee up that.
I bet.
We can just go to Discord.
Yeah, I
Riley
figured.
was really like, you can't run. Your shit is... Your shit's gonna catch you.
I'm gonna go over to Discord too.
Yarp.